7 days. That's how long it took me from idea to revenue on my last info product. Not 7 months of building, not 7 weeks of perfecting, 7 days. The tools I used, mostly AI. Let me show you exactly how. So again, here's what most people do. They spend 3 months building a course nobody asked for, they perfect every single slide, they stress over the logo, then they launch to crickets. Then they wonder what went wrong. So I used to do that too. I used to build products I was proud of that nobody bought, and then now I do the opposite. I validate before I build. So I use AI to compress the work. I launch ugly, but then I improve later. And then it changed everything. This isn't theory. This is the exact 7 day process I use that I've taught others to build info products that hit 10K per month. So here's what we're going to be covering. Day 1 to 2, how to find the niche that actually pays and validates demand with $100 in ads before you build anything. Day 3, how to read the data to know if you should continue or kill the idea. Day 4 to 5 is how to use Claude, Lovable, and other simple tools to build your entire product in 1 weekend. Then day 6, how to set up the sales infrastructure, checkout, emails, and upsells. Then day 7, it gets fun, how to scale the ads and get to your first sales. No fluff, no filler, just the exact playbook. Let's get into it. The 7 day info product sprint from idea to 10K per month using AI tools. Let's dive in, everybody. Day 1 to 2, niche selection plus validation, finding a niche that actually pays. Now, not all niches are equal. You want pain over passion. People pay to solve problems, not pursue hobbies. Let's not make this into a hobby. We want this to be a revenue making machine, an actual business. I personally like B2C. Others may say different. They're more direct, straightforward. They usually have deeper wallets. Like it says here, have budgets. Consumers have objections. Again, not a general blanket statement. It's just for me personally, based on my experience, it's going to be easier to sell to business. Expensive problems. If the problem costs them 10K, they'll happily pay $500 to solve it, right? Existing demand. Are people already buying solutions? Competition equals validation. Then the best niches for info products, right? Make money, save time, health, relationships, skills that lead to income is going to be crucial. All of these are evergreen. They will always work, no matter if we're in recession times, good times, and bad times. They're here to stay, and those will be our playgrounds we're going to play with. So using Claude for market research, Claude's really good. I've used almost all of them, and it just has just better logic reasoning. Really good for copywriting as well. Prompt 1 is finding the pain. For example, what are the top 10 frustrations, problems, expensive pain points for target audience? You kind of want to start diving deep into this. You can even have it research what audiences you're looking for as well. Reddit is actually a great place for this. Something I do is just copy paste all the threads, and I have it just give me phrases and lines and pain points overall to really dive into the actual pain. And a lot of those are actually very personal, so you'll get some really good copy out of that as well. Competitive landscape. Again, what info products, courses, and programs already exist? What do they charge and what are the gaps? You don't want to go into something that no one's offering in, or there's no current products, because that just means it might just be too green, or it's just not validated, right? Then the offer angle, based on these pain points and gaps, what will be a compelling offer product? Offer, give me a headline, 3 key benefits, a unique angle that differentiates from existing solutions. Again, we want to find that gap. I find that no matter how saturated a market is, there's always going to be a gap. There's always going to be some unique opportunity to come in at a different angle and sell and make some pretty good money. So the $100 validation test. Before building anything, I like to validate with real money. So what does that mean, and what does that look like? Landing pages, I build with Lovable, or you can use Card. I like Lovable personally. 2 hours max. Headline plus some bullet points and an email sign up, no product yet. Ad creatives, you can use Claude to write some hooks, simple images, talking heads are fine too. Arcads is really good for the talking heads. And ideogram for very quick generation of image ads work really well. You can actually use Claude to prompt it, copy, paste, and boom, you have a lot of image ads there. Run ads, $100 on Meta. I like Meta. That's my primary channel. I still use to this day. Cold traffic, broad targeting in your niche, run for 48 to 72 hours. A couple of things you want to look at is a click-through rate. Again, if you're running to website forms, which I recommend, you want to look at outbound click-through rate or unique link click. The CPC it's not really the most important metric, but it's going to be also very useful. Landing page conversion rate, ultimately that's the biggest one. Email signups, and then any comments that you're getting, because that's going to be feedback, right? So this $100 test tells you more than 3 months of building that ever could. So again, before I build anything, I make a $100 bet. And here's how it works. I take my idea, I build a simple landing page, 2 hours max with Lovable, headline, 3 bullet points, email sign up or a wait list. Then I run $100 on meta ads, cold traffic, people who don't know me. Then I watch what happens. If people click but don't sign up, that means my offer is weak. If people don't click at all, then my hook is weak. And if people click and sign up, I might have something. This $100 tells me more than 3 months of building ever could. Again, most people skip this. They fall in love with their idea. They build for months, and then they find out nobody wants it. So I'd rather lose $100 in 2 hours than lose 3 months and my sanity. Again, every idea gets a $100 bet, no exceptions. If I can't pass this test, it doesn't deserve my time. So day 3, we want to read the data, then decide and make some decisions. Again, so what do the numbers tell you specifically while you're running your quick validation test? The signals here, what it means, and the actions to take. So if you have a low click-through rate, it means the hook is weak. We're not grabbing attention enough, and we got to test new hooks. A high CTR and low signups means the hook works, but the offer is weak. We got to rewrite the landing page or make stronger benefits. Now, something I do here is actually run it through Manus. I just kind of, hey, here's my lander. It'll actually scan everything and it'll read it. It's an actual true AI agent. It'll actually, you could see it, do its work. And I just say, hey, improve the copy. If there needs any improvement, I'm getting, a low, for example, my offer is weak. Tell me what to fix. Then I have it generate a Lovable prompt. I'll put it in Lovable and it does the fixes for me. So it's really cool. A high click-through rate and a high signups, it means the hook and the offer work great. Everything is green lit. Then I built a product and proceed to day 4. Negative comments on the actual ad, it means the offer might be confusing or polarizing. Depends. You got to read the room. So I would clarify the positioning or pivot. Then a high cost per click. Again, because we're running meta, I don't really look at the cost per click too much, but I do look at what my cost per unique link click is, or outbound click, almost like, I think it's the same thing, very similar. If it's very high, it means the niche is competitive. My targeting might be off, or I just want to reduce my targeting to something smaller. So I just, I grab like a segment of that market, which means I got to narrow my targeting or test a different audience. So here's the decision framework. If we're greenlit, which means I have a high CTR, a pretty decent high landing page conversion rate, cost per click, again, if it's reasonable, I build a product. Yellow light, it's like mixed signals. If one metric is off, I iterate on the weak point and then I retest with another $50. Red light means multiple metrics are failing. I kill the idea or pivot to a completely different angle. Again, speed matters. Make the call in 24 hours. Don't sit on the data. Day 4 to 5, we actually build a product. Let's say you actually get greenlit. It's going to be awesome. Now here's the tools we use. Again, for Claude, we want to do the curriculum outline, lesson key points, email sequences, sales copy, and worksheets. 2 to 3 hours. Time yourself here. Anything more, in my opinion, it's just not ideal. Lovable. That's where we make the sales pages, the landing pages, the checkout page design, 2 to 4 hours. Loom is really record the course content. You can screen share. You can even do it from a Google Doc. Very simple. Talk through key points, 4 to 6 hours. Notion in school, deliver the course, organize the modules, host the videos, 1 to 2 hours. Canva, worksheets, PDFs, simple graphics, 1 to 2. And then with Manus, we do a lot of deep research, competitor analysis, market data. That's going to be just as needed. So total build time, we're looking at 10 to 15 hours. Really one focused weekend, which is ideal. So here's some prompts for the curriculum. Again, I'm not going to say all of these, but these are very helpful for you to go ahead and take and use them for developing your curriculum. Here's a full curriculum for the first prompt you want in Claude. Prompt 2 will then give you the lesson breakdown, some key points on what to cover. Prompt 3 will go over the worksheet creation, which is going to be helpful to kind of have your students follow along, have a clear action item plan, and etc. Now, the ship ugly principle, your first version is going to be embarrassingly simple. Loom recordings, not a professional video, Notion pages, no custom platforms, simple Canva PDFs, nothing crazy designed, nothing over designed, no fancy editing, no perfect lighting. Now, people pay for transformation, not for production value. Ship ugly, and then we're going to improve later on with like a version 2.0 or whatever, but we just want to validate it and improve with revenue. So again, I used to spend weeks outlining courses. Now Claude does it in about like 20 minutes. And here's the exact process. So first I tell Claude, hey, you're an expert in XYZ niche. Create a curriculum for someone who wants to achieve whatever the specific outcome is for your niche. Break it into modules and lessons. Focus on transformation, not information. Then Claude gives me a full outline, modules, lessons, pretty much everything. Then I say for each lesson, give me 3 to 5 key points I need to cover and keep it actionable. Now I have my entire course structure. Then I open up Loom, I hit record, and I teach each lesson. No slides, no fancy editing, just me talking through the key points. A full course recorded and done in one weekend. Again, people overcomplicate this. They think they need professional video. They think they need perfect slides. They think it needs to look like a Netflix production. It does not. People pay for transformation, not production value. Use AI to outline, use them to record, then ship it. You could always improve it later after people are paying you. So now we get to the fun stuff, the sales infrastructure, the tech stack. So for payment, I keep it simple. I use Stripe, but there's other alternatives like Gumroad, Lemon Squeezy, all those other alternatives. Email, you can do ConvertKit, MailerLite. There's free tier works. ConvertKit's actually really good. Sales pages, I use Lovable. I'm more familiar with it, but there's others like Card and Framer, or you can do direct on Gumroad. And then delivery, there's Notion, School, Teachable, or keep it very primitive and just do Google Drive links if you like. For the pricing strategy for info products, the sweet spots, you've seen these before, $47 to $97. That's a mini course, a quick win, impulse buy range. $197 to $297 is a full course, a little bit more comprehensive solution. $497 to $997 are premium courses with templates, community access. That does get a little bit better. You got to have solid deliverables when you're offering at these price ranges. I would start at $197 to $297. You can always discount. Hard to raise prices later, of course. So the email sequence, again, Claude writes it. Here's something I would do for the email sequence. Copy, paste this. I'll try to have it in the outline below. See if we can give you guys these so you can copy and paste them. But here's my prompt for the email sequence for the welcome one, which is very helpful. Now, day 7 is kind of where also the fun continues with the launch and the scale. We want to scale the ads. So again, you validate with $100. Now you scale with strategy. Well, step 1, increase the budget to 20 to 30% on the winning ad sets. Don't 10x it overnight. Step 2, launch retargeting to page visitors who didn't buy. Again, they're going to be your warmest audience. Set that as a separate audience. You can retarget them later. Step 3, test new hooks created to find more winners. Never rely on one ad. Personally, with our agency, we probably launch at least 50 creatives a week at this point, minimum. And we kill the losers, scale the winners, so to speak. Step 4, we build a lookalike audience from the buyers once you have 50 to 100 sales. That's going to be key. And because it's low ticket, you can start getting these audiences pretty quickly. So the 10K a month math, again, it's not magic, it's just pure math at this point, right? So if you're launching something in $97, you need about 103 sales. That's 3.5 per day. A little bit on the harder side. 197 is 51 sales, 1.7 per day, which is moderate. Then 497, which is 21 sales, 0.7 per day, which is easier. You could also do the 497 via webinar. You could probably sell it via sell. Webinars are kind of coming back, so I would recommend those too. Higher price does mean fewer sales are needed, but more profit margins for ads typically. The profit equation here, so we want to target 3x return on ad spend, ROAS. So we spend $50 a day. If we generate $150 a day in sales, it's $100 a day in profit, which is $3,000 per month. Now, that would be great. Even if it's less, that's still okay if you have something on the back end. If you have a high-ticket back end or a high-ticket course, you can technically break even or actually operate at a loss As long as you know your numbers, because then you'll know, hey, we're going to close 1 or 2 out of 100 sales, which is a 2% close rate. If you're at closing at 2 to 3% for a high ticket on the back end, it's actually really good. Something to keep in mind. Or you can just optimize this and just run this profitable machine all day long. That's also possible. You want to then scale to $150 per day, same ROAS. Now we're looking at 9K per month profit. So first prove that the unit economics work, and then you want to scale. So there is a moment in this process that changes everything. So and it's day 7. Your ads are running and your checkout is live. And then you get the notification, your first sale. Someone you've never met found you through an ad, read your page, pull out their credit card, and they actually bought. That moment validates everything. Again, it's not like your mom saying it's a great idea, not your friend being supportive. It's a stranger that actually paid you money. And that's the real signal. And here's what most people miss. The first sale is just a proof of concept. It's not the win, but it is the green light. Now you can scale. You increase the ad budget, you add retargeting, you test new hooks, and you optimize the funnel. $10,000 a month is not magic. It just comes down to math. If your offer commit at 2% and your product is $200, you need 250 buyers. That's about 8 sales a day. At $50 a day in ad spend with a 3x return, you're pretty much there. The first sale proves it's possible and the system makes it inevitable. Get the first sale, then run the math, then scale. So the 7-day sprint summary here to kind of just cover it all. Day 1 to 2, we're going to select your niche. Your landing page goes live, and now we're having the $100 ad campaign running. Day 3, we analyze the data. It's a go, no-go decision made, and we want to move quickly here. Day 4 to 5, we built the course with AI, content recorded, delivery set up. Day 6, sales page live, checkout working, email sequence active. Day 7, the ads are scaled, first sales, and then now the path to 10K per month is much more clear. Validate fast, build with AI, we ship ugly, and we scale what works. 7 days, $100 test, AI tools, that's the playbook. Now let's go build. Let's bring this home. 7 days, that's all it takes. Day 1 to 2, you find a niche with real pain. You validate it with $100 in ads before you build anything. Day 3, you read the data. If it's green, go. If it's red, pivot or kill. Day 4 to 5, use Claude to build your curriculum, record with Loom, and we ship ugly. Day 6, set up checkout, emails, upsells, simple infrastructure. Day 7, we have fun, we scale the ads, get your first sales, run the math at 10K. This isn't complicated, the tools exist, AI does 80% of the work. The only thing stopping most people is that they overcomplicate it. They want perfect before they ship, they want certainty before they test, they want guarantees before they risk. That's not how it works. You make the $100 bet, you build fast, you ship ugly, and then you improve with real feedback. That's the game. 10K per month isn't a dream, it's a process, and now you have the exact process. So go build. If this was valuable, please subscribe. I break down the real playbooks, not theory, actual processes that work. Drop a comment, tell me what info product you're building, and I'll see you on the next one. Now go make the $100 bet. Thank you very much.